Annyeonghaseyo.
I'm the Marshallais.
I'm Ariel.
And we're
Soju for Two.
Now this is going to be our review of Romance Town.
Yes, and this came out last year, and we actually, the reason we started watching it was because the female lead was also in Feast of the Gods.
She's been in a lot of things we're watching right now, so
yeah, we really like her.
We really like her.
Okay, so the main characters, so we have Son Ye-ri plays No Sung-gun, Jang Gu-woon plays Kang Gun-woo, Kim Min-jun plays Kim Young-hee, Min Ho-rim plays Jung Da-kum.
Okay, so with this story, right away with the characters, now this was an interesting story for us. It had a little bit, if you've seen Dream High, in that story with like the pill, is there an pill Sook?
Yeah,
or something like that. And then the character who's from 2 p.m. like Woo Young, I think maybe. Just that story of like kind of the bigger girl, like kind of overweight, and then loses weight, and they love. That's kind of how this starts. Okay, now the main male lead starts out like really overweight, and the female lead is herself, and then he's like a chaebol son, and there's a lot of complicated things with that, but it starts out I think on a really funny note.
Yes, and what's interesting about this too is it's exploring like sort of a part of Korean culture that we haven't really seen before. We've seen the whole chaebol thing before. We've never really seen like this sort of like Desperate Housewives, like little neighborhood where everyone's super wealthy, and it's really sort of interesting. And so the women in the show are all like maids.
Yes.
And it's an interesting like premise, this sort of idea of like the people that keep your home and that raise your children, and it's a lot like the movie just came out, The Help. It just gives me that sort of feeling like, how do you treat the people that basically do everything you need to do?
And what's interesting is we watch a ton of dramas where like the main guy is like a chaebol or something like that, and then there's always maids around.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is like to see they hear everything that's going on and they know what's going on, so it's really interesting to see it from the maid's perspective.
Yeah.
And also it was cool because takes place like where they have standalone houses and they all have like
lawns.
So
which you never see
rich,
in dramas. You never see lawns.
So I think that this drama had like a different premise right away. And I think that the characters were compelling, each in their own right. And I think this has to deal with a lot of money. There's a lot going on in this drama. I feel like for us, the beginning of this drama was super enjoyable, and then the end
sort of
petered out. Yeah, so it was sort of like a mixed bag for us, but we felt like it was a very fresh idea.
Sorry, our pug is
barking.
Okay, so chemistry. So what's great about this, I mean, right from the beginning, we really loved the main female lead and male lead. I think that they were just like so good together. And then there's also sort of like the other two characters, so Kim Young-hee and Jung Da-kum. So they never get together. But she's his maid, and he's like sort of rich, and comes from an art family and everything. And I loved their dynamic as well.
Their story.
They felt like, I mean, even though it doesn't end up this way, like they really felt like a married couple, and they felt like people that really loved each other. And clearly they love each other, but I really liked the way that was
I think there was like comedy in this story as well, which I thought made like the chemistry, kind of
stronger.
really compelling. The main male lead, we thought he was so cute when we were watching this, and because he goes from like the overweight, kind of really overweight, to like really, really handsome, so that was kind of hard for us to swallow. In that
he made
one.
that transition really nicely.
Yeah. So love triangle, there is definitely a love triangle in this, and it gets explored, and in a funny way. Like it's not like they like start to hate each other, because the guys start out as best friends. So they don't hate each other. They kind of like work together, and they're like, well, whoever she ends up with is who she ends up with. And I mean, I think this one's hard to explain because there's a lot going on in the story.
It's really complicated too, because it has all these things with money and the lottery, and it's just, I think it's interesting. It really was like a sophisticated exploration of like what money does to people. And I think that
family drama with that, you know what I mean? So I think like you have family problems and how money can create even more issues with families, and how you kind of overcome that as like a family. I mean, this was a really interesting drama for those aspects of something different.
So mistaken identity, misunderstanding. So we have a big misunderstanding. I mean, she wins the lottery,
like $10 million,
and doesn't tell anyone, and keeps being a maid. It's something that's, I think, a really different plot. We've never seen this before, and it really made for lots of drama in this show.
And I think we knew from very early on that it was going to get really complicated with the whole money issue.
Yeah.
And money becomes like this really driving force. Like we said, I mean, it's like what money does to people. And I think that kind of really adds like a spin to this relationship. I mean, some people know that she's wealthy and they're not telling, because she's not telling, and it's kind of like how everyone reacts to each other.
And what's interesting is not everyone is like super good about the money. Like she is not like perfect. She's not like, oh, I'm just going to give them my money and like make it like I'm going to tell everybody about it. Like it's very realistic in the way people are like handling that. So I think that was interesting. Piggyback ride, or I'm sorry, Bad Guys Turn Good.
Okay, well, I don't really think this one has like a bad guy in the exact same way. Like, there's bad people in
Yeah,
it. Like the fathers,
dad and-
you know, there's some other characters who kind of play like a mean role.
Yeah, the Ajuma, like the older like women and like the ladies, the madams. I guess.
Yeah, I think really for us, it was just more of like the realistic kind of problems that the
Mhm.
main character was facing, and like the people around her. And some people are good and some people are bad, but there was redeemable qualities for most
Yeah.
of the people in the show.
Yeah. Piggyback Ride.
Yeah, not really.
I don't remember Piggyback Ride. Yeah. Kisses. So there's a few
A couple
really
good
great
kisses.
kisses in this drama. At the end, there was a great kiss. I mean, there were some surprisingly great kisses, and we were only expecting it. But I would say though that I wish there had been a little more romance
Yeah.
in the end, especially with like the other characters, the other side or miss. I wish there had been a little bit more with that.
I guess
with
I want to
kisses.
say like with this one, it seems like we really like it, and we did like it up to a certain point because
Yeah.
I think like the beginning was so interesting that I think we had really high expectations, and it just kind of got a little bit boring. And I know
And honestly, I
it
almost forget like what happened in the last couple
last
episodes
couple episodes
because
because it kind of ran
Yeah.
together as like I mean the ending is obviously really good, but I think for us like it really summed up nicely.
Mhm.
But the beginning was just so interesting that I wanted the end to be as like kind of interesting.
Yeah, it had a
as
few
the rest of
like
it.
I actually had a lot I think of filler episodes
Filler,
towards the
yeah.
end, and that was sort of
I
disappointing.
feel like that's the downfall for dramas.
Yeah.
If they don't keep that like high
Intensity,
energy
yeah.
through all the episodes.
With fashion, I mean he dressed really well.
Yeah, somewhat. He wears a lot of scarves.
A lot of like high water pants.
Yeah, a lot of the
That's
girls
amazing.
in this, like all the maids, are obviously supposed to be like cheaply. They're all in like dresses and cute skirts. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like the peasant style.
I love her like $19,000 outfit.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the craziest outfit I've ever seen for 19 grand, if that's how much that was.
I don't know if I would have spent 19 grand on that.
That's not how I would have spent it. Music, I don't remember.
Not really like a big part for
Yeah.
us.
So our rating, Marsh, what do you
Okay,
think?
I'm gonna give this a 7. I think that I thought that the acting was really good. I just think the writing might not have just done exactly what I wanted it to do. But I do think it's worth a shot. Like if you like some of the characters in this and it's a different storyline, almost a little bit more of like an American show with the beginning of the storyline. Yeah, give it a try. Just might be a little bored.
I would say if you like sort of Desperate Housewives, that sort
Yeah.
of feeling of like a lot of women sort of like dealing with their lives,
Mhm.
you probably would like it. I'm gonna give it. I'm on the fence on this one. I think I'll give it like a 6.5
Yeah.
because I really like the beginning and I think that like I love the leads, but it was not necessarily my favorite show in the end.
So if you have time, maybe check this one out. If
Yeah.
not, you could leave it.
Yeah, but we honestly the beginning was really great. So maybe
Really
watch the beginning and watch like the kiss scenes. We'll make a compilation kiss video for you guys.
All right, thanks,
Bye, guys.
Bye.